Obviously, I have more experience than a lot of you have years on this earth. But with that comes a lot of experience and learning, and that's what I wanted to share with you today. As you can see, and as was mentioned, I was a 1984 Chico State grad, great preparation for a great range of opportunities that I had working for companies like Safeway, Chevron, Procter & Gamble, and for the last 25 years, Gallo. Also have my MBA from Cornell University. And again, I found the Chico education I got, great preparation for that. What I wanted to talk about today was some specific learnings that I got in my career. And in fact, early in my career at Gallo, I had the opportunity to lead one of our distributors in Phoenix, Arizona. And that was distributing Gallo product. Great experience. It was like running your own $50 million business. And when I came back, Ernest Gallo, the icon, the person who founded, one of the two founding brothers who started Gallo Winery, asked for a meeting with me, and he wanted to know, what did I get from that experience? And at the end of that interview, he asked me, well, what would you do differently based on what you know now? And I thought about this a little bit. I thought I had the answer. I said, we really need to be selling spirits and offering that to our customers. The product portfolio that we have right now, the margins are too low for me to really give the customer service that I need to give in this market to be able to beat the competition. And if we had spirits, those are high margin products, that would allow us to be competitive. And he said, oh, really? Tell me a little bit more about that. And so I gave him my full logic, thought I had a great argument, and I still remember to this day him wagging his finger in my face and saying, let me make this very, very clear to you. We will never, ever have spirits in our portfolio. I went, okay, I get it. Here's, one of the richest men in America and a true industrial icon. He's saying it's his company. He doesn't want spirits. I'll drop the idea. Fortunately for Gallo, that idea wasn't dropped. We had another general manager that a few years later had the idea for testing spirits. It was an obvious idea. And he was able to convince people to just let me test this idea. Just give me one market where I can go test one product on the spirits and we'll see if it's successful. And that became New Amsterdam. And New Amsterdam became a tremendous success story for Gallo. It's actually one of the top 5 spirits brands in the United States. Hopefully some of you are consumers of that. And it wouldn't have been possible if he hadn't have got permission to test this and grow this business. Great for Gallo, wasn't so great for me personally in my career. And so I learned some lessons from that. Fast forward a few years later, I was in charge of our purchasing organization, our sourcing group. And one of the things I was responsible for was a very small line of business called contract manufacturing or outside manufacturing. And at that time, almost all of the production at Gallo was made internally. We actually felt like being vertically integrated, from making our own wine to actually making our own glass bottles, our own labels, our own closures, and then filling it in our own bottling lines gave us a competitive advantage. But there were disadvantages to that. Because of the scale we had, it made it hard to innovate. We were exposed to currency fluctuations in foreign markets. And so to me, it was a very obvious idea that we should do more contract manufacturing, producing outside. And you can see some of the benefits here. And so our CEO at the time, Joe Gallo, Ernest's son, I had the opportunity to sit down with him, and I explained what a great idea this was. And Joe didn't like the idea. Joe's response was, I like having control. I like being in a position of knowing where everything is, having everything close. I don't want it to be complicated. This idea sounds too complex to me. I worry about giving up cost advantage. Drop the idea. All right, so I've already been told once in my career to drop an idea. This time, I was a little bit smarter about it. And what I did was I went and I enlisted the support of other leaders in the organization at Gallo. I went to finance and explained the merits of the idea. I went to marketing and talked to them and our business unit leadership in terms of why this idea made sense. Talked to winemaking. Build a broad base of support to give me license to at least test this, especially in terms of innovation, which was so critical for our company. And based on those tests, we were able to build a success story. And with that success came more success to the point where today we actually produce around the world, and 25% of Gallo's revenue comes from non-Gallo-owned facilities, contract manufacturing. So a tremendous success story for Gallo and for me personally in my career. And it wouldn't have been possible if I just would have taken no for an answer. So what do you get out of this? What are the key takeaways for you sitting here today that I hope you get from this? First off is, to be successful in your career, if you really want to get into upper levels of leadership, the price of entry is doing a good job, but ultimately that's not what's going to get you promoted to the level of a vice president and executive leader. Doing a good job alone won't be enough. You're going to have to bring ideas to the table. You're going to have to envision opportunities for making the business better, to grow the business. And not only are you going to have to come up with those ideas, you're going to have to be able to do it in a way that you can get support behind those ideas. Anything that's really worth pursuing, you're going to have to go get the support of others behind those ideas in a large organization. You're going to have to enlist their support, and once you get that support, or even if you don't fully get that support, enlist the support of others that can help you build that idea. That's what I did in my career, and I was able to engage a team, get them excited about the idea, and then execute it with excellence. And if you do those 4 E's, envision, enlist, engage, and execute, you will have a chance to really grow in your career. But most importantly, don't ever give up. Don't take no for an answer, and I think you'll find that you have a tremendous possibilities for career growth. Thank you for your time.